The Frames Per Second podcast.
Welcome to the Frames Per Second podcast. I am your host this episode because we are talking about Max's original series entitled White Lotus. My esteemed panel includes Rod. What's up?
Hey, what up, man? How you doing?
Good. Ken, what's up?
Ciao.
What?
And a surprise, the voice you hear, she's back. Miss Naturally Nay, how are you doing, ma'am?
I'm wonderful. How
I know
are
they
y'all?
gonna be happy about that.
Well, Nay is here, and we're talking about, she said she had to join us for this for White Lotus, man. And again, if y'all are late, we are reviewing season 1 today. We're reviewing season 2 next week, and then we will hit y'all with a review of the latest season, which is season 3 of White Lotus.
And these are weekly episodes, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Come out on Sundays at
Come out
9,
on
I
Sundays
believe.
at 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So the first season is set at the White Lotus Resort, and they're in Hawaii. In this first season, the first episode is entitled Arrivals. First of all, going into it, what did you guys know about the show?
Just that you liked it
Just white
and
mess.
that it was really white.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing on a weekend, but I just randomly turned it on. I was like, oh, this that show that Spike be talking about. I said, let me see. I was hooked.
Rod, what did you know about it?
Absolutely nothing. I don't even remember you talking about it, honestly. I think I remember seeing it pop up somewhere because I was Sweeney or whatever. I know, like Sydney Sweeney. I was like, okay, her and somebody else I saw, and I was like, wait, what is this? Or whatever. So I always I think it was Aubrey Plaza, because I'm a big fan of her too. And because she's in season 2. And I was like, well, what is this? You know what I mean? So I just, in my mind, I wanted to watch it, but like, as y'all know, I don't be watching many TV shows unless y'all say something about it, like, or if we're going to review it. So when y'all said that, I was like, okay, this gives me an opportunity to finally go watch it. And plus, Naomi had just said that I needed to watch it before y'all said it. I was like, okay, this is a sign I need to just go ahead and watch it. Because she literally had just told me, like, before I shoot, I was like, yo, you should watch this. I'm like, okay. And anytime she says that, it's like, I'm intrigued.
Nice. I'm usually a fan of anything HBO Max does, so that's what got me. I'll at least give it a try. In this one, after the first episode, you see how it opens with the body, and you're like, wait, what happened? I was probably hooked from there.
Wasn't this on one of your best of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely was. It made my list this season, this first season 1, not season 2. Season 2 was okay to me. We'll get into that. But I really enjoyed season 1 this season. I thought it was some insane shit happening. But that goes to episode 1. It was entitled Arrivals. And the guests arrive to the White Lotus Resort in Hawaii. We meet the Mossberger family and newlywed Pattons and the troubled Tanya McQuaid. Quad, excuse me.
Pronounced quad.
And the hotel manager, Armand, welcomes them, but tensions build immediately. Highlights of the first episode. Who wants to go first?
I was not hooked immediately, like you said.
Were you intrigued by the coffin? Like, who died?
I like murder mystery stories. But I don't know, man. It just something felt, and I don't know if it was because everybody had been talking about it, but it just didn't feel as big as I thought it would feel. Like when I thought, there's been shows where immediately I'm hooked. Like, oh man, I can't wait to watch the next episode. I didn't feel that on this one. I was just like, okay, what's the big,
I wasn't initially hooked either.
Yeah.
I felt like the cast was stacked enough to make me want to watch it a little bit more to see what was going on. But I feel like the whole flashback time jump thing is so done at this point that you really got to have something intriguing to make that work for me. And just the death wasn't it. But I stayed on the strength of the casting.
Got it.
Same, yeah, because the like we said, the casting, you like, oh, what happened here? I'm not invested yet. You know what I'm saying? So it just wasn't enough to make me invested in the show. Like,
No, it was absolutely nothing here. I'm like, this is what everybody's talking about. Like, what the hell is this shit? Like, this family ain't even crazy enough. Like there wasn't anything crazy with the family or with Tanya McQuad, her or anybody. It's just like, and yeah, I understand using the casket as a means to hook somebody to get them into the story so they can stay around to find out what happened. But yeah, this first episode was like bland, very bland.
Okay, first episode was bland. In that first episode, did any other characters stick out? Did y'all wonder, what is this guy's story?
The one from Insecure. I'm like, oh, she's in this. I'll be curious. I was definitely wanted to see her in a different role. And I like what she did. I like what she did. Especially when we get to the end, as we get there. But yeah, it definitely felt like a different character from who she played on Insecure.
You think she felt different?
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like I still see her, but just like a more mellow version of her. So yeah, she didn't necessarily feel that different to me. She still felt like the Insecure.
She felt like a shy Kelly.
It's like a shy Kelly, yeah, kind of like
but Kelly's not shy.
Okay, well, she felt like a. Like how Kelly had like a certain like what am I trying to say? Damn, I can't think of the word.
I don't know if this is what you're trying to say, but her comedy is subtle.
Yeah,
like even with Kelly, like some of the stuff.
Wit is the word I'm looking for. She still had a look. She still had a certain wit about her.
Okay,
like she had common sense. Like and I feel like that's Kelly, but just on a pullback part. But it is a different character. I don't want to take away from that. She did seem different.
Yeah, for it to be a comedy and for her to not to really have any outwardly comedic moments, I was like, she's very reserved in this show that's built around all these very, very outwardly glowing figures.
She's a different character. Y'all right.
She's a good actor. I think she like supporting actor because she had a show where she was a lead.
Yeah, I saw one.
I liked it.
Oh man,
it is.
I mean,
it wasn't bad though.
It wasn't bad. It was definitely different. I can kind of understand that. Like it was it was quirky in moments. But I mean, at any rate, I do think she's been able to show some range.
Yeah. I don't want to take that away from her. That's why I want to take back my statement. I think she was different.
What was the name of the show y'all talking about?
How to Die Alone or something like that?
How to Die Alone.
Oh,
like she was a stewardess or something, right?
Yeah.
I ain't even heard of that.
She worked at the
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Oh shit! You put it on Hulu, bro. It's a wrap.
Might as well hide.
That is not true.
I'm like, Nate, I be on Hulu. I just recommend her.
Who's on Hulu besides y'all two?
I like Hulu. I like Hulu.
Is on Hulu.
Key themes they say for this episode were class and privilege, hidden tensions, first impressions. Did y'all pick up on any of that?
Yes, absolutely. I did think the family was assholes though. Well, at least especially the girls. The girls just seemed like really privileged.
Judgmental as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, just judgmental as hell.
Girls.
Yeah, it's just girls.
I mean, they felt very much like girls.
Girls on vacation.
Yeah. They did come off privileged, but I immediately despised the newlywed husband.
The husband was the one that jumped out to me like
immediately.
Oh, man,
I was like,
a dickhead.
God.
Facts.
And he ain't let up the whole 6 episodes.
The thing I liked about it is that I'm sure you get all of these type of personality at these resorts. And I thought that was like a true to life thing. I was like, okay, if anything to pull me in, it was that. Just trying to see a day in the life of resort goers, right? Because there's all kind of people there. You know what I mean? So I thought that was an interesting concept. And that's what kind of kept me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is entitled.
Wait, I think she want to go.
I was gonna say the thing that because I've rewatched this probably like 3 times at this point.
Damn.
I know. I got obsessed. I got obsessed a little bit.
Dog, she will watch something 4
over
or 5 times,
over
bro.
again.
Like it's the weirdest thing. Like, bro, she'll watch. I'm like,
anxiety.
You watching that again?
Anxiety. Anyway, so yeah, the thing that I thought like this last time I watched it was I thought initially that Armand was going to be kind of like a working class version of the stuck up people. Like the way he was like kind of berating the pregnant girl or whatever, which I thought she was going to play a bigger part. I thought she was going to come back. She had a baby.
Alana, whatever her name is.
But I thought that he was going to be like a way for them to depict how even in the working class, you can have someone who comes off like they're better than. So watching his, like, the way his story ended up was interesting to me.
Which one is Armand?
Armand,
the manager, the hotel manager.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, his story was interesting to say the least.
Right.
Episode 2 was entitled New Day. In this episode, Olivia and Paula judge Rachel. Shane grows more frustrated with their botched honeymoon suite, and Tanya bonds with spa manager Belinda. Meanwhile, Armand starts slipping back into bad habits.
This happened that early on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was episode 2 because he stole the bag. Well, he found the bag.
I thought it happened later, but it's only 6 episodes. So
The way he treated the pregnant girl kind of sparked his spiral.
Yep.
He felt bad about the fact that he was like, he didn't even know she was pregnant. He was messing with her the whole day. So that sparked his spiral.
They did. She did just had a baby, and that was it. I just realized that.
Nothing else happened.
Never
You
saw
thought
it.
this was gonna be
Yeah.
She was
crazy.
a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
100%. Like they use her to almost keep people around. Like, oh my God, this woman water just broke. So like, this show is crazy. Let me see what happened next. And then
Never
boom,
had
she was
anything
gone.
happen again. This episode, what'd y'all think about Olivia and Paula? You said just girls being girls now? Because they were judging her, the other girl.
Like rich girls being rich girls. Yeah, like the whole like kind of woke, like we're reading Nietzsche on the beat, like just that whole like pretense, like pretentious facade almost was, it felt very realistic. Like, I hope my girls don't act like that. But yes, there is a certain judginess that I think most, especially girls in that age range, have. And then seeing how that plays out in this whole classist kind of situation I felt it was true to life.
Yeah, and I think, Shane definitely kept showing his colors to be like a male version of a Karen. I don't even know what what names they got.
He would not let that room go.
He would not let that shit. You know what? But I ain't gonna lie though.
Would y'all?
To a certain extent,
I would be the same way.
Like, to a certain degree, you feel them. Like, you want, especially if you're paying a certain price point.
But you weren't paying a certain price point. Your mama was paying a certain price point.
Yeah.
I will give you, it's your honeymoon, and he used the guise of, I want this to be nice for you. But his new wife said it's fine.
Yeah, my wife
didn't care. It's principle.
But your wife says it's fine. Don't make a big deal of it. I'm good. And then you say, well, that's because you're not used to having much.
Bruh. He had
that's what I'm saying.
Bunch of cold lines, which we'll get to one later on. But
yeah, it was more so like his air, right?
Yeah.
I think the character itself is very true to life, because it's been situations we've been in, like, right, where it's like, you might be fine,
yes,
but I know you're not.
I am.
Okay. That's why I pulled it back real quick. But it's really like, I'm not fine because I want the best for you, right? I'm good. I get you, but that's not how I wanted the experience to go. You feel what I'm saying?
So I want
your meal to
experience it then.
But here's my thing: if I'm paying for it, right? What'd you say?
Who are you really trying to have the experience with?
Because it's something that I wanted to do for you, right? It's something I wanted to do for you, and I want to see it out a certain way. Yeah, you might be fine, but in my mind, I feel like you'd be even better if it went the way that I intended it to go. And that's how I felt like he was. So it was a part of it that I could kind of relate to. I wouldn't be bugging nobody like he was. I think this was a extreme case, but I want my shit to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the world of my woman, my wife, or whatever. So I want her to have the absolute best. I don't want the watered down version of that. I paid the money for this when we know he didn't pay it. I'm just saying, from my perspective, the idea, it's like, nah, man, like, I need this to be right. And they showed that it should have been right. And he fucked up. So it's like, whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? So I think they did a good job of writing that.
And I think I missed that. When did they show that he was the one that fucked up?
He was just like, he told old girl, he's like, yeah, I fucked up. He said
he said it. Okay.
He literally said
the
it.
travel agent that.
Okay, I probably tuned out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't let it go. Especially if I got proof that I was right. Nah, man, y'all gonna have to make this shit right.
I can see you doing it, Ken.
I feel like it was written really well.
It was.
Because as much as there's a certain air, like you said, Rod, that he has, but at the end of the day, air aside, you can really understand, because you know you messed up. I know you messed up, and you're not even gonna take accountability for the fact that you messed up, and you think I'm supposed to let it go on my honeymoon. It's like it was the situation was written really well, and it was acted really well to be able to still get that. Yeah, you're right, but like, dang,
He went about it the wrong way. Like he could have just
What's the right
he
way?
could have just asked for something. Like, don't continue to badger me about something that already it's over, bro. It's done.
It's not.
Do you want comp? Do you like
He
you
didn't
want a free
offer
night?
comp.
So he should have asked for it. You the one complaining to me. I just work here,
And
bro.
he just kept
No.
giving excuses.
He did.
Right.
That's the part. Like, don't just give me
No.
excuses. I need resolve.
resolution.
Yeah.
I need to know that you're going to fix this or make this better
gave him
for
free
me.
champagne.
And why should I have which was probably
I don't drink.
cheap, but why should I even have to ask for that though, Spike? And that's the point. He should offer that.
Because you're
Courtesy.
continuing to make it a point. So give me.
Yeah, because you haven't offered a resolution.
If we negotiate and give me what you're looking for, then I can tell you what I can do.
All he has to do is say, I fucked up. Next time you come here, it's on me. He didn't even offer that because he
fucked up.
didn't want to acknowledge that he fucked up.
Yeah.
So he kept talking around and make the guy seem like gaslighting and make it think it was crazy.
Yeah.
Even when he saw evidence.
That's true. Bro, that was such a good storyline. Like it was really good.
Who knew that could be a good story?
Right. You would have thought you got irritated with that quickly. Did y'all have a thought or y'all try to guess who was in the coffin?
I
Yeah.
forgot
I thought,
about it.
yeah, I did.
Who did you think it was?
I thought it was the wife.
I did too. I thought it. What's
of
her name?
the-
Rebecca.
The
I think
newlywed?
so. Yeah, I thought it was
That's
the
what
newlywed.
Y'all thought that?
because when the couple was like, he was like, leave me alone.
Oh,
and I was like,
yeah, that's
oh,
obvious
because where
now.
is his wife? Maybe that's who died.
Yeah,
That's
she
who I
wasn't
thought.
there.
Wow.
But then I started thinking like that seems a little too obvious. Like,
It is
why would they
obvious,
be
isn't it?
that
Yeah.
obvious about it? Because like, yeah, he was looking out the window, looking at the coffin. He was by himself. He was irritated. Didn't want to be bothered. I'm like, well, shit, it was his wife.
Yeah, they did try to lead us down that path. You said nobody?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it
You said
anymore.
the wife, right?
Yeah, I thought it was the wife.
Also in this episode, we see Tanya and how you pronounce that?
McQuad.
McQuad. We see them start to bond. Did y'all think anything of this relationship?
I hated it early.
I knew
This
something
whole
bad was going to happen.
shit, yeah, this whole shit was fucking weird. She was super weird and rich, forcing her into a situation she did not even want to be in, you know, having to overcomp and overextend herself for this guest, you know, and because she was emotionally in an unstable state and she was giving out a lot to her or things to her in exchange for something that she never got. But no, I didn't like it at all. I think did her son call her? And this one was later. I think it was later. It was later after she offered what she offered. But yeah, I didn't like it. And then at this the second episode, I'm like, this show is fucking weird. This shit don't make any sense. What the fuck is happening?
I was like that too. I was like, I don't understand. What's the point of all this? I did not know what was happening. So even at this point, I'm still like, okay, what's the point of this show? Like I didn't see it.
I do got the point of the first season, actually the second season, but yeah, man, it was just like get to something. This ain't the something that I need to like that's supposed to make this show good.
This was actually.
Were you at the something?
No, yeah. So this relationship here was probably one of the more interesting pieces to me because one, it was hella relatable. Like I've met so many little old white ladies who like become drawn to you. And it's like, hell, it happened to me last night. It's like, you're so pretty. Oh my gosh. And look, and they just want to like take you under their wing for something. And it becomes like this like weird power dynamic. But I thought it was interesting because even though it was like Belinda did not really want to be bothered, at some point in time, she saw what she could gain from it. So it then became an opportunistic relationship from Belinda. And then you like stroking her hair, singing to the bitch on the boat. I'm like, what is going on? So it's like you fall into this caretaker, almost nanny type role to this old white lady because you think you're going to get something out of it. So it was really interesting to me to watch the different like power dynamic between the two of them and like who was really playing who in this situation.
Agreed.
Turned to some that old slave shit. Bro.
Yeah.
That's what
a
it looked
little
like
bit.
it was
Yeah.
going to. All right. Anything else about episode 2?
I don't remember them episode by episode like that, but not that I can think of.
So,
has Paula met the boy? Do we know Paula's met the boy by this point?
She's seen him in her preview. I think episode 3 they had conversations.
Okay. Yeah, I was confused about the son. Like,
I think he was useless.
Yeah,
he was my favorite person.
Really?
I was so happy for Quinn at the end.
Really?
He was useless.
Yeah, like I think out of all of these characters that we met, he was the most genuine, good-hearted character.
Agree with that.
Yeah.
So to see his story go the way it went, like I was happy about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So we're episode 3 now, which is entitled Mysterious Monkeys. This is halfway through the season. Episode synopsis of this. Mark, he deals with the
we didn't talk about his swollen balls.
Just the episode, right?
Oh yeah, that was in the first episode, right?
Yeah, and
but he got the information and all of that stuff.
Yeah, again, something weird and off-putting to make. It's almost like they wanted to create water cooler talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're gonna throw this thing in here and have first we're gonna show it, and then we're gonna build this whole thing around it. So I think they did. It didn't work for me, but I think they did things to keep people interested and figure out what the fuck is going on with this show.
Facts.
And that was definitely something nobody could have planned for.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot. It seemed like they were doing a lot of different storylines, and it, like you just said, it'll catch somebody. Right, one of these storylines are going to catch. So whether it's social commentary, whether it's classism or whatever, or any of that. So something's going to catch somebody in this show.
Yeah, testicles, bro. Like he was just
swollen balls.
They were so open with each other.
They were very open with each other.
I love that actor. She's great.
Yeah, she is. But I thought it was interesting because like she's obviously the head of the household, right? And so I thought it was interesting that you have this man who has no balls with swollen balls when you open the scene up and just watch how that dynamic and whole thing plays out. It was his whole story arc was really weird to me too.
Yeah, Nicole hated him.
Yeah.
She did not like her husband at all. We found out why.
I don't think that's why. I think it's just a result of whatever the why is. Because he made it seem like she never really wanted to be bothered with him. It took him 3 years to even be able to get close to her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did say that.
And I think, I guess, is the episode when she meets Rebecca, is this the episode where she meets her?
When they talked about it, she said she wrote about her.
It said she wasn't good.
That's the next episode.
Okay.
This episode, though, the rest of the stuff that happens, like you said, Paula, she secretly meets with a staff member. Shane continues to escalate the feud with Armand. Tanya's dependency on Belinda deepens. At this point, I'm thinking Armand is killing this. Like, he's the best character in this in the show right now for me.
That's the
hotel manager. Just the way that how he was acting out this role was like perfect. And then I would put Shane next. Like that, just the dynamic of them two going back and forth really made the show early on for me. Yeah. Anything about episode 3 for y'all?
This is the monkey episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
The monkey episode.
Mysterious Monkeys is what he called because he found out his dad was gay.
Right.
And that was a phone call from his uncle.
Correct.
Because I think
he died of AIDS, not cancer.
Yeah. He was just so messed up after that.
You know what?
Y'all wouldn't be?
That would
so
that would be crazy to hear.
It would definitely, it would throw me off to hear that. It's like I've been lied to my whole life. Yeah, you didn't give me a chance to
accept or not accept.
Yeah, but what I liked about that whole thing, and this is when some things are starting to about the show start to formulate, is him being homophobic, and his daughter's calling him out for that, and then Nicole's reaction to that as well.
That was interesting.
Yeah. So often, and maybe it's just the stuff that I'm watching, I see a lot of, black homophobia in media. It was good to see, a white person have a reaction to finding out their dad is gay, and a homophobic reaction, and then later on trying to kind of clean it up. So I thought that was good to kind of see that. But, probably because they're rich, you could probably write it off and excuse it because they're not actually middle class or whatever. But it felt somewhat different seeing that.
I thought her comment was interesting, and I actually was going to ask y'all, like, do you feel like in situations like that, like you should have a safe space to say you're homophobic, not politically correct stuff with your family? Like, at what point, especially if it's not understood or intentional homophobia? Like, do you have the space to be able to talk that out with, like, who is that safe space to talk that stuff out so that you can learn what you should or should not be feeling or thinking?
I believe it's good for the wife, not for the kids. Like, you can have that conversation with your wife, but I don't think you want to influence your kids in that and maybe influence their thought process.
I don't think but the thing is, at least with these particular set of kids, and we're just talking about overall, then there may be a point there. I think we have open communication and conversation in our household. Miles was just talking about a transgender because of something that tied with Roblox and how the stuff that was going on and stuff like that caught me completely off guard. So I was like, whoa, wait, what do you know about all that? And he told me everything. I was like, okay, cool. And just kept talking. Like, so there's a sort of normalization that's taking place. And that's like, and I hear Miles and Rylan talk about kids in their school. And it's this sort of acceptance depending on where you are. That so it's weird kind of watching that play out with this younger generation and how they, in this particular example, started to call him out because of the homophobia and maybe because of the things that they've learned. This is not to say by any stretch of the imagination that there's not a whole other cohort of people that feel completely opposite about that. So it's just based on this show and experience that I have. So I know there's a whole other group that will clown people for that. To your question about should we have a safe space to have those conversations, I think absolutely. I think you should be able to, and I think that depending on who's in the household and where they are, they should call you out for it. And that's what this guy was called out for it. But go ahead.
I was just saying, including the kids. Like, I know you said you would just do it with the wife, but I think the kids are important as well because they can bring a different perspective. Our girls have brought a different perspective to conversations, like just about being more progressive, right? So yeah, I think it's important to include everybody because I don't think you're going to influence them. Depending on what age they are, especially at the age that these kids were in this show, you're not going to influence them. They're going to call you out on your shit or whatever. Now, if they're younger, maybe you might influence them like toddler age, but like preteen and all them, they gonna be talking shit about you.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, I think from elementary and middle school, I still think they're really impressionable. So I do agree that there needs to be a certain level of responsibility that the parents have in that situation to make sure that what we are communicating is what we want to communicate and we flesh that out personally. So I do agree with you. But once they do reach a certain age, especially college age, because those girls were college and Quinn was 16, like they've kind of come to formulate what their opinions are. So at that point, I do think I agree with Rod and Ken. There's a certain point where including them in that conversation and getting their opinion can kind of help your opinion not be antiquated.
And I think the mom was like, he needs to work this out and you guys need to give him time to work it. Yeah. And I do agree with that. Like, that's shocking, like, to hear that about, this, you have this image, and granted, this masculine image that he built up in his head.
He's got to work through that.
Yeah, he has to sort that out because it's been completely warped and changed. And, he has to figure out what he's going to do with that information. And he eventually got there. He had to work through a lot of different, feelings about it. And, it was rooted in homophobia. And he had to just kind of sort it out, bro. And to be able to have that ability to do it in your household and to be called out for it and probably take that into consideration and process that and put that over here and put that over there. And then it's like, where am I going to land in the middle?
Poor Quinn.
Yeah.
I initially really liked the mother, and her response, like her balance to the girls, right? Like, because that's a real thing. Like, a lot of adults and stuff are set in their ways when it comes to ideas, and they have a different perspective. She was just like, okay, well, you talking all that shit, but we on this vacation, but you ain't saying nothing about this vacation. Like, you ain't saying nothing about this boat that we on right now. Like I don't see you taking a stand to stay home and not be on this trip. If you so all high, woke or whatever. So I thought I liked that conversation. You know what I'm saying? The challenging conversation that she was having with her kids. So I like that representation of her. But then she got to a point where she really started getting problematic with some of the things she was saying.
And it started
white man.
No, Nicole.
Yes, that's when a straight white man is where she lost me.
What she say
like,
again?
She was just like, well, yeah, he has to go through this world. He has it hard. What the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, that's when she lost me. I was like,
that was this episode, right?
I think that was maybe the next one, possibly.
Because even then she was like, "What are you gonna do? Cancel him or something like that?"
Right.
So she started to kind of.
So I'm right on mark.
Yeah, her class and her privilege and her victimization of how things are now started to really show.
Yeah.
And her willingness to protect that those subset of people.
Yeah.
The white man.
Facts.
And from there it started to kind of evolve from there.
Yeah, because she was talking about the son. She's like, the way they were treating the son or whatever. She didn't like the way that they were treating him. She's like, look, he has it hard. Talk to him.
Yep, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? Get him out, get him involved or whatever. So yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like,
and think about it.
Sleeping on the beach.
Yeah, he's sleeping on the beach with all this stuff, and then the other stuff got taken away. And Quinn's an interesting story. But you think about what she said about him and the straight. Quinn has it hard as a straight white man.
Yes.
At 16. Take him and hold him up next to Shane. Because that's who he would have probably turned
but he's
into.
Not because he ran away.
Right. Because he ran away from that.
And he went to go live with
But that 16-year-old white man could have turned into Shane.
Yeah.
How hard is it for fucking Shane?
Yeah.
He got everything. And that's that is the younger version of Shane. That's a good point.
Very good point.
Episode 4 is called Recentering. Armand spirals into substance abuse. Shane becomes more aggressive over his suite. Rachel starts questioning her marriage. And Kia and Paula's secret relationship intensifies.
This shit, man, had me in my feelings at this point. I'm like, man, like, because he had that bag. And I was just like, man, why you keep lying about the fucking drugs? Like, you know you got this. Like, I was invested at this point, kid. I was like, I was mad for them. Like, this is bullshit.
Girls.
Right, you stole from them girls, man.
Drugs.
Huh? Yeah, but he was taking them, though. They was their drugs.
True.
On the resort.
And that girl was sick. He took her prescription medication.
Oh, she really was sick?
Yeah, so she had like anxiety or something.
Yeah, it sounded. Yeah, it seemed like it was
Like
anxiety,
Xanax.
and like when she did that, like, let's do the ASMR. I was like, what in the freaky mess? Like y'all making sounds and getting off. I don't understand. But yeah, she had some sort of issue. So you taking her prescription medication that they also were doing too much of as for recreational purposes. But yeah, he was wrong for that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she really had like issues. I thought they were just recreational drugs.
Some of it was, she said she had weed.
So
she had her anxiety stuff, which the other girl with Sydney Sweeney
We could use this.
Right. And then Sydney had the ketamine. So yeah, it's like Sydney was using her prescription drugs recreationally, but she actually had medications for her issues.
Which sort of is, oh man.
She never saw it as a drug that they can just get high off.
But that explains why she kind of, her arc from started to change.
Yeah.
Yep, because she didn't have a
Because
medicine.
she came off the meds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
What else about this episode? What y'all think about?
Well, I want to go, but is this the episode where Armand thought that he was being hit on?
He was like, you want to try?
But
Man.
Armand was, why he said, when I take a little bit, I get reckless.
he said
was
uninhibited.
not
He said I get uninhibited.
Armand was a wild boy.
That was
man.
his sponsor, and Belinda ain't no real friend.
You don't think so?
Belinda should have called. She just would like cuss him out when she was like, why would you do that? Like, call his sponsor. Like, he has a problem.
Yeah.
Somebody get this man some help. You saw him in the shower and then sleep in the car. Get him some help.
She
I
was
thought he
real
was-
regular about it, too.
I thought
she
he was
was like-
dead too.
She was like, whatever. What are you doing?
Right, yeah. The way she
I don't
was,
think she
she was
fucked with
real.
him. She ain't really fuck with him like.
I mean, that's her
why
boss. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah.
But it sounded like it was bullshit. But I can see her saying, "Well, that sounds like something I can believe."
Damn.
You know, but yeah, when he, that's what he got for it. Like, bro, like the nerve of you to ask him something like that.
What's it feel like?
Yeah, because you're still trying to process. You're trying to figure out what your dad is going through. Like, did your dad enjoy being gay? That's what you kind of asking him.
Right.
That's crazy,
bro. So
Oh,
yeah.
the dad was so honest with his conversations. I thought that was funny too. Like,
With his son.
he would just
With
say with
everybody.
everybody. He would just say
Oh,
what comes
yeah.
to his mind. Like, you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He's just like, yeah, you know, I slept around on your mom. Like, the shit he was telling his son was so wild, dog. I was like,
it was, though. Just to sit there have that conversation with a 16-year-old.
So there's two questions I had. Well, with that situation, so given the fact that he was being so honest and upfront with his son, what's the mom's name? Natasha? What's her name?
Nicole.
Did Nicole have a right to feel a way about that?
Nicole. Oh, about when she figured out that she told him?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Because if they've had conversations where she doesn't want them to know because they'll look at her differently, then he shouldn't have told them. That should be something that
they say together.
Yeah, we decided to tell them. We tell them together, and I can have share my side of the story so they don't look at me differently or you differently.
Right.
Yeah, that was reckless for him to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Because granted, sure, all that y'all said is accurate. But at the same time, this is my relationship with my son.
But I'm sorry.
But you're talking about me though. Right?
No, I'm talking about what I did. And I'm telling you about the consequences of what I did. And I'm having a man-to-man conversation. And in the situation of me learning this about my father, I want to be as forthcoming with my son as possible. How does that then become about you?
Because I feel like it's our secret to have. Now, you can have that conversation with your son after we tell him what we agreed not to tell him.
Or I just ask you, do you mind if I talk to my son?
How does that happen in that situation, though? When I'm sitting here bonding at the pool with my son and it comes up, like, should I put a pin in this and let me talk with your mother first?
Yes, absolutely.
And
because it's y'all business.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just real quick, I was just going to say, it's just because we have to have that conversation. I can still have that conversation with you, but now we can't have that conversation the same anymore together. Right. As far as me and my wife.
Because I might not be ready for the kids to know that. You know what I'm saying? And I might want to be there when I don't know what you're telling him. I don't know how your perception of that situation was. So I would like to add my perception of it as well. So you don't know how that conversation is going.
Agreed.
But
she was accusing him of being selfish, but she was also being selfish too.
In what way she was?
Because she was like, well, I should be there, like you took that moment from me. And you made it about you when it really is about us. But there are conversations that men and son have. He was being way too open about what he did and the reasons why. But he was saying, look, I don't want to keep it in secrets from him. And I want to be real so he'll know the true version of myself.
Right.
And what my actions, these are the consequences of my action. Yeah, they were monetary. Like I had to spend $150,000 to pay for my sins, and my wife don't like me. And, I'm making monkey noises trying to have sex with her like you a goddamn fool. Who would want to, like, what are you doing?
She was like, wow, you're taking this really hard.
But he was like, bro, you spiraling. Like you spiraling. You asking gay people how it feels to be a bottom, or because the kids with kids and them are calling them a power bottom and all kind of, like, what are you doing, bro? And but yeah, I don't know if she had.
It was interesting. Right?
Yeah,
because it's like,
I never thought about it until she said it.
Yeah, it's like this is the relation. It's so especially when you have your kids start to get older, like there's a desire for you to want them to know who you are as a person. Well, who you are as a person also includes a lot of other different people. So how are you able to manage your relationship that you want to have with your kid without infringing on other people's business, but still being honest and open with them?
See, other people's business is different from like your mother or your father. Like I don't even know, because he's at the table saying certain things or whatever, and in my mind, he has no clue on what's going on or why I have this ring or why this and the third. And like, you didn't tell me that. That's what I'm saying. Like, sure, if you want to just have that moment, right? And even if you told me afterward, hey, I was bonding with our son and I told him this, at least give her that courtesy to let him know.
He didn't.
He just found out. That's what I'm saying. So at least give her that courtesy. Like, look, we were bonding. And I just wanted him to know. And I think that would have been a slightly better approach than just her finding out the way she found out.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good conversation. Episode 5 is the Lotus Eaters.
Wait, can we talk about Rachel?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Rachel and Nicole and their conversation that they had and where Rachel is with Shane? Because we ain't really talked about this relationship with her and Shane. Like, so we're in this whirlwind relationship, right? Mm-hmm. What do y'all think about? I'm curious with the men on the panel. What do y'all think about her concerns with the relationship outside of him just being like a spoiled brat? Like, what do y'all think about like her career concerns and where she's struggling with Shane?
It was surprising to me that they hadn't had this conversation yet. Like, she seemed like this was all news to her, that he didn't want her to work and he thought that her career was a joke. And like, I just don't see. Did they say how long they were engaged?
They were engaged. They got met and married within a year. Mm-hmm. So I think they dated for 3 months. It took them like maybe 6 months to plan the wedding. So we're talking about like a 9-month situation.
I felt like if they hadn't had this conversation, then she was lying to herself about who Shane was, because we seen it immediately. And she was acting surprised that he felt this way about her career, that she doesn't really generate a lot of income from. He said he could take care of her. I'm sure that's not the first time that he said that. So I think that she kind of was lying to herself to even be in this situation, to think that this wouldn't come up with somebody like him. Mm-hmm. We got that from him off jump.
Yeah.
Right?
She knew who she was.
But we're not in this orbit. So we're not caught up in the world of the gravity effect of who Shane is.
You said she had some affection for him.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
But still, even through like the dating phase, right?
Yeah, you know,
like
you know what you
do, right? He know what you do. He know probably how much you make. Y'all probably had these
a representative.
Nah, I don't think he had a representative.
I don't think he can.
I think he's always that guy.
Yeah.
Mm. And then she knew that they were there on her. He's not hiding the fact that he's there on his mother's bill. So she already knows how much of a mama's boy he is. So you know exactly who you're marrying.
I think she has valid concerns, but she wanted to feel important. Mm-hmm. And she didn't want to feel like that she's just there, as she said, a trophy wife later on. She wants her own identity. And I think she was also shooken when Nicole told her the article was terrible and that she wasn't good.
That shit was crazy.
So she's also dealing with that. And so she has an identity crisis that she was going through. And Shane was not willing to allow her to sort that out. He was like, you don't have to worry about that. And she didn't want to just become another asset, for him to add to, what he already had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that she, like I said, was lying to herself if she ever said.
You did good. You did good.
I ain't mean to step on it. My bad.
No, it's fine. I'm just joking.
But I just think that she was lying to herself if she ever thought that relationship was going to be about her. Like, when you deal with a person like Shane, you probably picked up. She was in his orbit. I agree. But she probably picked up really early that, if I'm going to spend my life with this person, it's always going to be about him.
Maybe it wasn't as extreme.
Right. I think maybe it wasn't as extreme, or she just got swept up in the fairy tale of it all, because he made it seem like she comes from a meager, family who doesn't really have obviously what he has. So it's like, oh, I'm being wined and dined, and he's taking me on trips, and we like, and he wants to marry me. Yes. Like, and now I'm planning a wedding. Right. And I'm in the throes of planning a wedding. And I'm sure she might have saw stuff between the mother, because obviously the mom was really involved. So I'm sure she knew that he was a mama's boy, but it's okay because he loves me. So to a certain extent, I do think she probably was lying to herself, but I think that's easy to do when you're especially as quick as it happened in the whole fairy tale of it all. And then it's like, okay, fairy tale's over. He's acting an ass about a room, and I have an opportunity to get a job, but you don't even want me to work anymore? Like, wait, time out. So I thought I really thought it was interesting to watch her whole world, kind of the whole picture. Like, it's like an Etch-a-Sketch. It was just slowly shaking the picture.
Yeah, he was throwing that money in her face. He was like, what are you doing? You don't have to work. Like, you're married to a guy that's rich.
The girls in the pool.
And then she
get on the plane home after that.
Then she has to deal with that.
I thought that was interesting too, the way they played that, because it did kind of make it seem like he was flirting, but it also mean like I was just giving him shit.
It did flirting.
That was some gaslighting ass, patriarchal ass bullshit. We talking about I'm giving him shit.
It was, but I thought it was intentional though, Because I don't think he actually liked them. I don't think he actually wanted those girls.
Then why out of all the people in the pool, you fucking with them 2 girls?
Because I think he saw them fucking with people too. So he was just giving them shit as well.
I'm on Rod's side. I think that he thinks like Shane operates on the sense of
Yo, no. Let's unpack this. No. Say that and we can unpack it. Say it and we'll unpack it.
This is a little bag to unpack.
Rod, Shane operates in the sense that this is my world and y'all just living in it. I wouldn't dare, like, I'm not flirting with them. I'm giving them shit because I can.
But you only did it because you was pissed at me. I wasn't giving you the attention you wanted, and you swim over to these girls.
Yeah, because it's my world and y'all just living in it. I think he's one of those dudes, like, everything orbits around me. Like, I have no intention of doing anything with these girls, but just because I can.
I don't think he did.
Just because I can, I'm going to do it.
I don't think he did.
And I'm, like, exploiting the power dynamic in our relationship because what you going to do? Like, I'm rich, you here because of me. Like, he's looking at it like, I mean, you can't do nothing.
Y'all don't think he was flirting?
Nah, he was just like, he was flexing. It was a flex.
Flexing what?
My power. I think
it was meant to look like he was flirting. I think it was.
So he was trying to make her jealous.
Maybe I think because based on what he said later, like, well, you was reading your book.
Jelly.
He didn't even know she left, right?
Nah.
But that was the point, Ken. Like he was just like, okay, he was trying to talk to her. She wasn't paying attention. He realized everything he was saying, she was ignoring it. So he went over and started fucking with the girls. I don't think it was intentional like he wanted those girls. I think he did it to fuck with her.
But if that was the case, if he was trying to make her jealous, he would have noticed when she left. That would have mean his plan worked.
Yeah, I think by that time he just like, yeah, whatever.
So, okay, he's not flirting. He's just flexing. He said, get in the pool, get in the water. So if they got in the pool and entertained the stuff that he's saying, then what?
I don't think he would have. I absolutely don't think he would have went for those girls.
No, I don't think so.
Then what was the point?
Because he showed that he really loved his wife. Like, even though he was an asshole and all that, he was very much into his wife.
Well, that's no other question because I don't.
Oh, he was.
Say no, y'all for real.
He was.
Guys.
Oh
guys.
Shit.
I don't think
Why do
he
y'all
was in
think
love
he
with
was
her,
really
bro.
into his? Was he really into his wife and who his wife was, or he was into what she represented for him?
Yes.
He was not into her like that.
That's what I mean.
He was into the idea of being married.
Yes.
That don't have shit to do with who Rebecca is, and that's what she realized.
That's
right.
true.
It's
That's
very
true,
hollow.
yes.
It's very hollow. But my point is
That's
that
not love.
I didn't say love.
Yeah,
I just said that he's into her. Like he wants that. He wants that thing what she represents. That's what he wants. He don't want anything outside of that. Mm-hmm. Is what I got from him.
So then where is that him being into her?
Not her, like,
Okay.
he into the situation.
Yes.
He not into her.
Yes.
get that from
I'm sorry.
anybody.
Right.
No, I mean,
his mom made it.
19-year-old girls at the pool.
No, not the same. Not the
'Cause
same.
now
He wasn't trying to wine and dine them. He wasn't trying to. He was splashing water on them.
If she would have actually left and been like, "This is some BS," and them girls and Sydney Sweeney's character would have been like, "You don't think she would have started whining and dining somebody else?"
No, on this resort, no.
Nah, because I don't think that's his life. Like
it's not.
He's building
His
this.
mama even said he has tons of girls throwing themselves at her.
And he picked her.
Okay, yeah.
So if he don't
so what does
have
that mean?
one, that means he's gonna pick somebody else.
No. Do you hear what you're saying? Just because tons of girls are throwing themselves at you don't mean that you're entertaining those girls.
He picked his wife for a reason.
Yeah.
His mom made it seem like he entertained a lot of them and picked a lot of them.
No, but no, what I'm saying, he can't help. He
didn't marry them though.
Yeah, he can't help that women are throwing themselves at him. He cannot help that.
Right.
That's a them thing. That's not a him thing. He can't help that.
But the conversation with the mom was like, you should be lucky he picked you.
That's his mom saying that.
That's also, I think Shane was kind of exhibiting that behavior too.
I think he's exhibiting that behavior to a certain degree that like, you should be, I am changing your life. I did pick you and I'm not into anyone else and I picked you. I chose you. I'm not saying that makes him a good person. I'm not saying that makes it right. All I'm saying is that he very much just want his wife. Regardless of other girls throwing at him, regardless of that he knows he probably can get other girls, I think he won't entertain those other situations.
While we're here, we just go ahead and talk about the argument they had because all of this ties together. Because when she went to him, and what episode was that? 5 or 6 or whatever, 5. And when she was like, yo, I think I made a mistake. This is when she's realizing that this guy is only about himself and not about me at all. And she approached him and his response validated that. Because he was like, you need to make sure you know what the fuck you doing or it's going to get ugly.
Think about it like this. She left, right? She said she didn't want to be in it. He didn't try to go back after those girls. He didn't try to go out to anybody else. He said that he went into like almost not like a state of depression, but he was just sad. He was in the airport by himself.
Because he didn't want to kill the man.
He didn't. That too, but he didn't want it. Okay, all right. That's why I think it's really good writing. The fact that we're going back and forth about this and we see it two different ways shows a sign of good writing, because I could see it a way. Spike obviously sees it that way as well, and y'all see it a different way. I don't think that he would have went for anyone else.
Just because, okay, I don't disagree with you, but that does not mean that it's not flirting. People flirt without the intention of actually bagging the person all the time.
Okay.
I'm just flirting with you to see if I got it.
So why are you so what's so okay?
That
so
doesn't mean it's not flirting.
So if it's simply flirting, what is the problem with that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm being serious.
I'm out of it. No.
No, seriously.
You see me and Ken was quiet. Like, I ain't stepping in that, buddy.
What's the problem with flirting in front of your new wife?
Well, okay. In front of your wife, it's crazy.
On a honeymoon.
It's crazy. Okay, in that
you
context.
Mad at me?
In that context, yeah, you're right. It's
I
not.
mean, at the end of the day,
I'm just saying,
but take that situation out of it. What's the problem with harmless flirting in front of your partner is a lot.
Yes.
And when you're in a partnership, what's wrong with harmless flirting is that it's misleading to the person you're flirting with and can create a situation that can lead to something that you're not really looking for. So it's a lot wrong with flirting harmlessly. And period.
But I feel like we've had these conversations before.
Uh-oh.
Because you very much can be flirtatious.
Who said I'm not?
Right. So what I'm saying is that I have to be okay with that.
No, you don't.
But what I'm saying, if I know that it's harmless and it's like I know where home is, right? And I know Ken don't agree with this because we already had this conversation. But if I have to be somewhat okay with that.
No, you don't.
Okay. All right.
I think Rod is saying,
all right. Like I don't.
If you know that you're dealing with something.
Yeah, it's like if I know who you are, that's the only thing that matters. I can't control.
But what Nate's point is, there's another party now entered into the equation, and that person don't know where home is. That person will take it further.
And might think that I don't know.
Right, and then you shut it down at some point. You only gonna take it so far, and I have to know that you're gonna only take that so far.
But why would you even put yourself in that circumstance?
Because we're all like I can't go through life just expecting you just to be just laser focused going down the street, not even paying attention to anything anyone's saying.
But you can't expect me to control my behavior.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's all I'm saying with him. Like, I think he's still controlling his behavior to a certain degree. Flirting, a little flirt. All right.
Oh no, man. He jumped in the pool.
Do outside of flashing
he
water?
Swam over to them and then he just started
invited them to
water.
Get in with me. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, he did say that. Yeah. He said yeah. He invited them into the pool. 2 women. He had both colors too.
All I'm saying is that I think it's levels to it. That's all.
And I think he's probably used to that
I think it's levels to it. And just I think you're being a little delusional if you think that just because somebody's your partner that you're not gonna succumb to some sort of flirtation, even like indirectly.
But this wasn't indirect.
I know it wasn't, but I'm just saying, just in general.
And I think that was the issue. I think it was another side of him that we saw and that she saw that she has to make a decision. Like, am I going to be willing to pull up with it?
He was throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
It's different levels to it too, right? Like it's different from like a waiter coming and you saying something cute to the waiter while y'all sitting there.
Right. And
hell no. That's crazy.
Like, hey, what's up?
See, that's crazy. That's another level.
Okay.
There are levels to flirtation. Flirtation can happen inadvertently, and someone can take what you're doing that you don't intend to be flirting as flirting.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree with that. Like, to bring it back, I don't disagree with that. I can say something, or anybody can say something in a tone that another person can take away because of where they particularly are at. But that's not the situation that we watch play out on the screen. That was an intentional going to with the intention of looking like and inviting. So that was slightly different.
Because he wasn't getting attention from his wife.
Correct.
And that's episode 5. It was the Lotus Eaters.
And Nicole gave really good advice to Rebecca before she realized who she was. The whole prenuptial agreement, and she was like, you need to keep your orbit going, because he's going to keep his orbit going, and you need to maintain your independence is your power. I thought that was really good advice that she gave her.
That was part of episode 5. I think we were on 4.
Okay.
And I just kind of, because they had that fight in that one.
Yeah.
So since we were there, I just
kind of
fight
in 5.
Yeah.
5 was the Lotus.
She called him a man baby.
Yeah, man, what a line.
You are
I was
the
like,
biggest
yo.
man baby. You invited your mommy to the honeymoon.
What y'all think about the 2 girls' relationship?
When they started kind of going derailing, when they started derailing a little bit.
And she got a little jealous when she met the dude, too.
Well, I think Paula has a very clear understanding of what the relationship is and what the dynamic is, because obviously she's flexed on her before in the way that rich white people do, where you have something I want, or I'm not getting what I want, so I'm going to go get it from somewhere else. So apparently there was a dude that Paula dated that Sydney Sweeney's character slept with, or whatever we insinuate. So she's very aware of what the relationship is and who these people are, which is why she's the most messed up person on this whole cast.
What was the
Paula or
Paula?
Paula.
That's the daughter, right? Or
the friend.
The friend.
What was the 3 things the pastor was talking about that day? Jealousy, envy, and what was the 3rd thing? They all kind of related.
I don't know.
I forgot how Paula framed it in the show, but she framed it in a really, really good way.
Envy?
It's not envy. It's like when you see something, man, he laid it out.
Coveting.
What's it called?
Coveting.
Coveting. What does that mean?
Like desiring what someone else wants.
Yeah. I think that's what she was doing.
A covetous nature.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know if I think we know why she was keeping it a secret was because she knew that she was going to eventually try to do what she actually ended up doing. Fortunately, Kai was hip to the game and didn't go down that road. Paula has now become a very interesting person in the show, knowing that she was basically medicating herself to stay around that family. As soon as the meds came off and she really saw and looked around for who they actually were, she tried to come in and help, because there was a certain awareness that she had now that wasn't clouded by these drugs she was taking. So it was like the only way, it was like one of the ways she can actually stay around and tolerate them and work within the confines of the rules that they established for her, because she's basically a fucking token.
Right.
Basically.
And a charity case, which was pointed out at the dinner, which we know that we'll eventually get to. So now knowing that she was on drugs, that really added another layer to her that I didn't pick up before. So it's really interesting.
Because you notice as the shows go on, like she'll be like, I can't do this, and she'll just get away. Or she would just dismiss and walk away from what they were saying, or she'd make a little snide remark about the stuff that the mom was saying. So Paula was interesting to me. I hated her by the end of this show.
Which one is Paula? The white?
The friend.
The friend. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? You hated her by the end?
She was the villain of the show to me.
What makes you say that?
Because of the way she did Kai.
Yeah, why did she throw his necklace away? Or his
because she had messed everything up, and she like, this boy going to jail at this point, and you're responsible. So I don't want her. I can't even accept this talk. He gave this to me out of care and love for me. You shouldn't love me. I'm throwing it in the sea.
Because you have guilt.
Yeah.
Over what you did.
To remind her.
Because you thought you were doing something good.
Again, you can't handle the accountability, so I can't even look at it.
So you thought she was the villain over the friend?
Yes.
Interesting.
And when you say friend, you mean daughter?
Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
Yeah. What was her name?
I don't remember what her name was. Her name is Sydney Sweeney.
Right. Because so you didn't think, like, when she called her out on it, that she was attaching herself to somebody that's like more progressive and just kind of being fake about it. I'm like, you're the person that you use, like she was like, you're using me, like you're using me to stand for these rights or whatever that you don't necessarily adhere to or apply at all. Like, you just say these things.
That's what Paula said.
That's what Sydney Sweeney said. Well, yeah, she said that to the Sydney Sweeney's character. Okay. You don't remember that part?
I mean, yes, to all of that, and she's not wrong, but you're aware of that, and you still play the game. Like you're still involved. You still allowing yourself to be their token, knowing that they're a token to get a free trip to Hawaii or whatever it is that you're doing. Like you're still friends with this girl who slept with your man because of what she can give you. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it kind of similar to what Belinda's doing. Like, why are you there? Why are you still cool with her? You know she's using you. You know the minute she finds out you have something of your own, she's gonna try and get it because she's done it before. What is your point of being here?
Isn't that kind of like victim blaming though?
She's using them too, though.
But she's
not necessarily a victim because she's benefiting from the situation.
She's benefiting from it, but you're saying that because she knows that she should deny the trip.
Yes.
Because she should deny the trip, and she shouldn't even be cool with someone like that. Right. Why are you friends with somebody like that?
She putting up with all of this shit for the perks, which makes it worse.
Yeah, she's using them too.
And then you looped somebody else into it and got them messed up in the game. All you had to do was text the nigga and say they coming.
Yeah, that was
you never did that.
Well, I thought she did try to do that.
No, after the fact. After they got there and he had already gotten caught in the fight, she was texting like, where are you? Are you okay? She didn't text him to say she's leaving the boat and heading back.
Sure did.
Why wouldn't she do that?
Because she's a villain.
It's a bit of a plot hole for me because I'm like, everybody's asking that question. Why didn't you? So maybe they had to give up their phones before they went on the boat. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense at all. I mean, I think
because she seemed legit concerned.
Yeah.
Because when she said that, she's like somebody could have got hurt, and she's like somebody did get hurt.
Yeah, she definitely felt bad. Yeah. I think that her feelings were sincere, but you got to take accountability for it. You put the idea in the boy's head and he didn't even want to do it.
Well, she was taking accountability for it. She felt bad.
That's not taking accountability. Feeling bad.
What else could you do?
You could, one, speak up and say, this is my fault.
Yeah, he just went down. There was no acknowledgement. She never owned up to it. Sydney Sweeney's character basically had to figure it out. It wasn't that hard to fucking figure out. It was stupid as shit. Because how else would he have known the code to get in? So it was clear Sydney basically broke everything down. Mm-hmm. The other thing about Paula is that she even told Kai, she was like, this family is fucked up.
Yeah.
And you have no idea. There are other things that this family have done outside of the resort that she is fully aware of, yet it benefits her in this. She's basically created her own system that she profits off of. And she lives within. And the only way she finally kind of started to see it for what it was is when she came off drugs.
She's ultimately doing the same thing Kai did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're like the same people almost. So the same system that took what they could from Kai's family, he's now working for, and she's doing the same thing. And
you make yourself feel good by reading these books and judging or calling out, homophobia in the system and this, that, and the other that you're a part of. You're benefiting from the system. All of them are. Even the white girl. You sitting here in Hawaii sitting by a pool calling out people that's doing fucked up shit. And this gets to the part where you were talking about Rod is like when the dad was like, well, shit, what the fuck you want me to do? You want me to give all this shit away? The only person that was cool with it was Quinn. Mm-hmm. Everybody else got quiet real quick.
Facts.
And so
it's really interesting the way like they show the different plays and the way like the power dynamics are kind of intertwined. This shows a really what's his name? Mike White? He's a
Mike White. Yeah.
All right, so to cap off season 5, Armand, episode 5. Armand goes full reckless.
Did you episode 4 was when we saw how reckless he can get.
I thought that was
what he said. No, it was episode 4. It was episode 4 when he was like,
I remember.
I'm obsessed with you. What can I do to get you naked?
Honey, he was like, your man bun is cute, baby.
That was 4. Yeah. That was 4.
Is this where he was eating ass?
Yes, that was 4. That was 4. That's when he bucked up, and then groceries. That's when the leverage changed to
Shane smile on that Cheshire cat grin he had.
Bro, he was like,
oh, got his ass.
Got him.
Oh man, my God, yeah, it was boy. Armand was Armand was.
Armand's
He was
a
a
wild boy.
Wild boy.
And that was before episode 5 or 6 when we saw how wild he was.
It got wilder and wilder. Bless
Man.
his heart. Live life on the edge.
Jesus Christ.
He was like, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't even know that's where he was going. He was like, yeah, you know, I'm sorry when I take drugs, you know, I get a little bit uninhibited. And I forgot he said it, but I'm wildly uninhibited now. I forgot how he really be like, but I took a lot of drugs right now, bro. So I don't give a fuck what I'm saying.
And dude was like, all right, so I see you Wednesday. He was like, you said I got the days off, dog. Like,
Yeah, he said I say a lot of shit. He said, so I don't even know. He said, but all right. Yeah. But
he was a wild boy.
yeah.
Seeing the progression of that, like,
Yeah, that was
crazy.
really
Like,
good. His character.
Yeah, he
arc,
was.
when he started, this uptight boss telling everybody what to do to where he got to. It was like, oh, okay.
And who took him out? It was this so-called system. It was the rich white guy. It was always the badgering over and over and over again. And he collapsed.
yeah.
He fell
Bless his
apart.
heart.
But man, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be something when they opened that door.
You know it's gonna be that. Jesus.
I didn't know it was gonna be that. I was gonna be that. And I was like,
I was not prepared.
there's a talking point. When you do something like that in a show, you'll get a lot of people talking. Now the
think
show's
so?
super wild. Yeah.
Oh, that's
You
that
don't
shit
you
was
don't see
crazy.
that in shows like that. Nah. You know.
They went the Euphoria route for sure. Like,
I think that was deeper than Euphoria.
I was like, I don't even think we see anybody eat ass on Euphoria.
No, I don't think we saw that.
He was going to work too, bro. Spike.
And
He
his
was
whole life-
all in,
his
Spike.
whole face, Jesus.
Like, you can't act that out.
like, bro, how did y'all act that?
Yeah,
Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, they got enjoyment out of that. Like
Yeah,
that is
bro.
no way around that.
Yeah, man.
There's no way around that.
Lord, yeah, that was something.
It's like on the set, it's like, yo, today's the day, y'all. Today's the day.
Close set.
Today is the day that you eat this man ass today on camera. Like, bro, that's man, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's man.
That was a
He
wild
said, I
scene.
want to get you naked. What do I got to do? That's a line, bro. That's a damn line.
Hey, he was so serious.
Yeah.
What I gotta do?
He just put it out there, bro. He said, what I got to do,
Just
man?
cut the bullshit.
Yeah. Let me
What
just
I gotta
Fuck all this small talk. Let's get to it, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, man. So that was 5. This is 6. It was titled Departures. And this season reaches a deadly climax. Shane's entitlement leads to a tragedy. Armand meets a shocking fate. Belinda faces disappointment. And the guests leave, but their lives are forever changed.
We haven't talked about Tanya much at all.
And she's
And people
stole the show.
love
She-
Tanya.
She stole the show.
Did she steal the show? I think she stole the show
was next
second
season,
season. But yeah, her character, I was surprised that they brought her back considering where her character was. Because she's just this painfully annoying rich girl who has to bury her mama's ashes. And by this time she done met oh boy, her roommate. Yeah, she was just... It's almost like she was a point of comedic relief, but it wasn't really funny.
Yes.
It's
She
just,
was
but
funny.
Jennifer Coolidge is like that awkward, kind of quirky, funny, right? So, and she did a lot of that in this show. But this episode between her and Belinda,
Yeah, that was.
We kind of
crazy.
knew this was going to happen, right?
we did, but it's just the way it happened. The way she was like, "I need to stop manipulating people with money after you've been doing it this whole time, and you're still kind of doing it." Because you're like, yeah, okay, I did all of this to kind of keep you around. And now that I got this man, I don't need you no more.
It was
Girl,
so
thanks.
messed up.
Man.
It was so heartbreaking.
Natasha Rothwell did an amazing
Amazing
job with that
job,
cry.
man.
Oh, my God.
felt that cry.
I
She was-
felt everything.
Yeah.
And
You
here's
gotta-
a stack of money.
Right.
Oh, man.
It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about the opportunity.
Yeah,
like,
she was gonna change her life. Like her life was literally gonna
Yeah.
change through that with that idea or whatever it may be. And
Did Tanya ever have any intention of doing that?
I think she did, but I do think she's a person who probably has a lot of intention of doing a lot of different things and never does them. She comes off as that type of person who's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this," and did something, sparks her
Something else,
interest
well,
2
yeah.
weeks later, and then the idea.
I met
never
people like
does.
that.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, I met people.
She
like
she
that.
comes off as that type of person where like you will do go through the whole thing. You'll go get the LLC and the business license, and y'all done took all of these steps.
Actually,
and then something else interests you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, she acknowledged that she was basically like a pet project for her.
Mm-hmm.
There was an exchange of benefits between the two of them.
It was her idea.
I know, but Belinda never got a chance to receive her benefits. So she poured everything into her, hoping to get something out in return. But her son told her, he was like, look, these places exploit you all the time. Even though it wasn't intended to be this way, he was like, you might as well do your own thing, get your own thing. So by the time I watched season 2, I don't know if she was going to do it or not. I think she would have eventually gotten bored and moved on to something else.
Because she kept like, did you reach out to your business manager, your business team? And she was like, yeah, no.
And they made it, so going back to the writing part, is they made it seem like all of that was because she got distracted with Greg. So we don't really know if Greg never came along, would she have really done that at all? So I think we get some answers in season 2 because she kind of outright said in a couple of different ways that she just does this sort of thing. But no, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she was going to really go through with it as soon as she left. And that was the issue. And the other thing is with Greg, did Greg set that the whole thing up from the very beginning?
I thought he did.
I think so, but I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
The room, he had to have known that he was in the wrong room and he was trying to use that as a way to get to her.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know either.
It's written really well.
He seems
because
like
even being caught up on the show, I still don't know.
He seems
because
like
where did this cough come from?
Yeah,
and the cough gone.
And they made us think that something was coming from that cough.
Yes.
Like, he seems like a long play con man though. Like it seems like that would be something.
Like she's a mark.
Yeah. Like I did the research. I know she's gonna be here. I did the room thing. Like it feels like he did that shit on purpose.
I'm with you in the cough. I thought he was using the cough just to get away. It was just gonna be a one night stand, and then the cough came back. Later. Yeah. So I don't know if. I've been trying to figure that out.
I think it was a long play. Like he a con man.
I don't.
But. What else
we'll get into it next season.
Yeah, because it's hard to decipher. Like, because then he kept brushing her off and stuff like that, and she kept chasing him.
She just watching it in the moment, I was like, oh, she's just desperate. Right? It just came off as just like a desperate lady she obviously was desperate for companionship, right? She's a damaged woman, and whatever the situation is, she's dealing with the death of her mother. That's obviously a traumatic situation for her. So it just seemed like she was coming off like she was desperate for attention, companionship, attention, whatever.
And it went from Belinda to Greg. In a span of days.
She thought that nigga was part of Black Lives Matter.
I knew it wasn't BLM.
Second, but I was like BLM. I was like, I was literally saying Black Lives Matter. What?
That was interesting. Like, yeah, what? It really intrigued her. She was just like, no. Yo, that's different. Like, what the hell?
It was cleverly done because this was around the time when they were talking about the social issues and rich people. Yeah. And then they threw that in there. As soon as I said, that is not what she thinking. He looked like he is so removed that he probably don't even know what BLM was like that or even care. But I saw because Armand set Shane them up to go on this trip on this boat, which was so fucked up.
That was hilarious. Armand was fucking with him the entire
He was. And then he kept flirting with the Mossbachers.
Yeah.
But
Monkey Man.
Yeah, the Monkey Man. But I saw that she improv that whole scene on the boat. That she made that up.
That champagne. I was like, what is wrong with her? She is a nut. She is a nut.
The throwing of the sand, the story that she told, all of that stuff she made up on the scene,
She's
on
hilarious.
the spot.
She killed that.
Yeah. Because I was like, why is this so weird and disjointed and all over the place? Like, why is her mom all of those things? Because she was just spitballing.
Cruel. She was cruel.
And I miss my mom, and I can't do it.
They told her, just go do your thing. Just do your thing, and we'll see if we keep it.
Hilarious.
What y'all think about Armand's untimely demise?
That nigga took a shit in his suitcase.
Man,
He took a shit for real, right?
Real. I mean, I don't know
That's
how.
a real shit.
That's what
Oh,
it
no.
looked like. I don't understand. Like I think I paused it. Like, how do you how is that CGI? Like how do you do
I felt like
that?
he took a real shit. Y'all don't think he took a real
Yeah,
shit?
I don't
probably
think
was
he
like
did.
some food or something that they know how to make the shit look like.
I
that.
know
It
that.
came out of his ass, guys. Like we watched it come out of his ass. How? Nigga, how
I
did
think that was
happen?
real shit, Spike. I think they said, yo, do not go to the bathroom today because you gotta take a shit in this suitcase.
We gonna give you a stool softener. Get this seed
Jesus
off.
Christ.
Child,
Yeah.
yeah, that was something.
by this point, it was clear that he
Yeah.
was the one that was in the coffin.
Yeah.
Shay was smell. He was just like,
He is a good actor because I felt like I smelled it with him. Like it didn't hit him immediately.
Right. That's what made it so good. It was very slow. It was like, wait, what?
yo, wait, what's going on?
Did I step in something?
He checked his little loafers, honey.
Man.
Shane was hilarious.
Oh my God.
I know Armand had another coming out party, but this was another one for him. This was like his second or third because Armand said, fuck the world. He didn't give a shit. And he brought all of the staff in there. And what he said? He said, they exploit me and I exploit you.
Yeah.
And he said, let's go. And they were in there having, man, Rod, they were having a good time, bro.
It was party,
And then he did a
bro.
table service and he was on. I thought that was interesting the way they did that, kind of like a symphony, and like he was doing like almost like a choreographed dance routine. Because he said in the beginning of the show when he was talking to what's her name, Lena or whatever the pregnant girl, it's like a kabuki. It's like you put on a mask and you play the role. So I thought that was really interesting for his last little hurrah to play the role. And who gets fired and then it's like, I'm gonna be there tomorrow to fire you and you expect me to finish my shift?
Right.
Where they do that at?
I don't know, but I loved how
They
he
do
did
that
it.
everywhere, though, I thought.
Do they?
They let you know, it's corporate world, they let you know you going on Friday. Yeah, y'all remember that?
I don't remember that.
Nah, normally you get the
remember
call at
pizza
the end of the
party.
day.
It depends on what type of
Same
layoff
thing.
it is. Yeah, I think it depends on.
I thought they always like at the end of the day they call and they
I don't
walk
know
you
if
out.
they. I think he like knew he was gonna get fired. I don't know if they said we're firing you. I think we were
He
just
said
gonna.
that. He said they're gonna fire me tomorrow.
I think
He's
he just-
coming to fire me tomorrow.
Yeah, but I don't know if they like when he was talking on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, you're fired."
Oh, you're
and I'll
saying
be there
like maybe
tomorrow.
it was insinuated.
Yeah,
It was just a
yeah. I
slip
think he was
of
like,
the
"All right,
tongue.
yeah, I know what's up. I know what's up." Like pizza party. Oh, we having a pizza party. I
Yeah.
know what's up. So I'm gonna go ahead and mess everything up. But yeah, he went out with guns blazing, and even
And
when
I
he came,
respect it.
yeah, I do too. Yeah, that even the guy that he was talking about, man bun, he was like, "Is this some kind of kamikaze shit or whatever?" You know? But he was like, "Man, I killed that table seating." Like, he was like, "Man, I killed that shit." I was like that, but he took pride in his work, and he was really good.
Yeah.
Like you could see, like before he even went on out there to talk to everybody, he was like, "All right." Then he put that face on, and then he started smiling and talking to everybody and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody feel for Shane?
no,
What? Oh, about how he killed him?
Yeah, about how because
Yeah,
he didn't mean to.
Yeah, I was on the fence with Shane. Like I said, I felt certain things. I feel like they wrote Shane really well.
they did,
I feel like they wrote him really well.
but I didn't feel sorry for him.
You did.
Yeah.
nah, and Shane didn't care.
He did care.
He cared. I think he cared
I
about
didn't
the
wanna
fact that
kill
he
him.
stabbed that
He'll be
man.
over it. He'll be
He
over
was
it,
so
bro.
It's like he allowed his pretension and his audacity to get him to go too far.
I mean, he walked into the knife by accident, but I don't think he cared that he did it. And then it was self-defense, so that's how he was able to get off. But I don't know if he really, really cared like that. I think he cared. He was, I don't know. But
He showed that he didn't want to kill him, even though he been fucking up his whole trip. He showed that he didn't want him to fucking die.
Yeah. He just wanted to fuck with him.
Yeah,
Well, all hearts and minds are clear.
I think so. I'm trying to see was there anything else. Okay, yeah. Last thing for me. Did y'all get the point by the end of the show?
so I'm not a fan of the show.
I was on ass. I don't think you ever said, but I was like, from the sounds of it, it sounded like you don't really like
Yeah,
it.
he did. Yeah, Spike never came back to me. But no, I'm not a fan of the show. But the social commentary I thought was really good. I felt like, and even with the second one, there's a lot of nothing that happens. They take a long time to build up to get to whatever the huh?
We're not there. We're not recapping the second one yet.
No, I'm talking just even the first one. About the third or fourth episode, I was like, I remember walking around the house, I was fussing about this. I was like, what the fuck is this show? This show is stupid as hell. It doesn't make any sense. It built itself up, in the social commentary and the conversations they were having were good. Seeing how everybody lost. Kai lost. Armand lost. He was a victim. Who's the other? Belinda. Oh, he described them locust eaters. They came in, they were there for this time, and so many people lost at the expense of these rich people, and they're gonna go on, live in their world. And even how they addressed their thought process to a certain degree about how they think about how people look at them and about what they should do given their situation. Because they were like, it's not my fault that I was ashamed. It's not my fault that I was born rich. This is just what it is. Oh my God. And when he told Paula, he was like, yeah, your mom ain't coming because she can't afford the ticket.
Oh shit.
That nigga.
Man, bro, I was like, yo, because when he said, I was like, I said, there's no way he's gonna say it. And he did.
He'd have had to hear my mouth out.
Yeah. So, but I love, because there are good things to talk about, and that's what I loved about it. I can talk about anything, and I love having these conversations.
Did Rebecca make the right choice
to be the trophy?
To stay with Shane?
Temporarily, I think.
Oh,
maybe.
Nah,
she gonna be miserable.
She there.
She gonna commit suicide by the time she's 45.
Yeah, but again,
That's
I think
temporarily.
Another good example of how
I'll be
people can't leave abusive relationships.
Yeah.
She knows it's bad for her. She wants to do her own thing, but even when she called her mom brushed her off. So she probably also felt like, this all I got. I lived the fairy tale dream and it was fulfilled.
Yeah, I think I think that. Yeah, she found herself in a situation. What, fingers crossed, I hope Rebecca does, is that she just does essentially what Paula does. Find the perks in your situation. You have all of these people who understand the system that they are involved in, and they find a way to benefit from the system. So allow yourself because she's like, maybe I'll just get into a nonprofit. Like, find a way to be able to benefit off of the system that you found yourself in, and make it work the best for you. Yep. But yeah, she's gonna be miserable if she's actually trying to be in love with somebody.
And even with Paula's thing, like your idea is to have him come in, steal this stuff, and now his life is ruined. $75 to these people probably ain't shit. So if you have a friend that has access to all of this money, and who is either woke or fake woke or fake ally, we don't know, but they think they're doing good. They had the conversation about donating to charities and stuff. Why don't you just go to her and it's like, here's the situation, and you need a lawyer. Can you help out?
Or you just steal the goddamn bracelet yourself.
Or could have done that too.
You in this room the whole time. They calling out the code. You just steal it yourself.
Oh, and the other thing that is how Nicole looked at him differently when he became a man.
She was ready for yes.
Which, remember, he said earlier, Spike and Rod, he was like, yeah, nobody respects me. Yeah. Everybody respect the fact that he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, and
he got the shit beat out of him, but it was like now, oh man, Dad, that looks cool.
Me.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the power dynamic now shifted because I was so vulnerable. I couldn't handle the situation. Like every other situation, I'm handling. But I can't handle this situation, and you come in and try to save the day.
Yep. And it don't matter that you lost. It was like you were trying to be my hero.
It was the fact she was my hero.
And now he is looked at with more respect. She didn't have any respect for him up to that point. Even matter of fact, she was like, why is everybody pick on me? I'm doing everything to keep this family together and everybody poking fun at me.
So here's the devil's advocate. Had he done anything to earn any respect up to that point?
I don't even know what he does.
He was sleeping around on her. She's obviously makes more money than him.
And he whines a lot. So no. I think they made it seem like he didn't do a lot. He was just in a situation. And he was almost like he was coming off as a victim. But I thought that it was still interesting how it changed with him and this whole toxic thing that people have. Like the way he gained respect was being aggressive, you know, and she loved it. And you know what? Yeah. So, I thought this first season with the social commentary they're making when they got towards the end, the later half, I thought was really good, and I see why people like it.
But you don't like the show because it ain't enough happening on screen.
It's mess. Like episode 4 ended with the mess. I think that's water cooler talk. But it is just a bunch of nothing. Yeah. You know, kind of like Seinfeld.
It's like popcorn show. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
So that's what I was wondering. That's because that's what it kind of felt like. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering from y'all, did it feel like that to y'all?
Yeah, I liked, but there's a lot to be said in nothing. Right. And that people just being people says so much about so many things.
Cool. Because I thought I was missing something. I was just like, okay.
It's just white people being white people and everything you could learn about white people being white people.
And that's how I explained it when I was telling y'all to watch it.
I don't remember you explaining
when I was
it
telling
that
you
way.
Watch it, and they was like, "Wow, what is it about?" I was like, "It's just this white mess, bro. It's just white. That's it. Like there is no deeper meaning to it other than it being white mess. It's like popcorn. It's like it's not anything fulfilling or anything of that nature other." In these conversations, yeah, because we did have a good we had several good conversations based off what happened in there. But as far as a plot and a through line for the show, there's nothing there.
I thought it was something specific because of what she has. Like she made it seem like I gotta watch this show because it's something there that I would. Why did you want me to watch the show?
Because, like I said, there's so much being said and nothing that I thought it would be interesting to get. I feel like because of the way it's written, there's so many different perspectives you could have on any of. Like throw some at the wall, and you could have 4 or 5 different perspectives on it. So I thought I was interested to see what your perspective was going to be on these different scenarios because I could see you seeing it wildly different from me.
Yeah, there are in the first season a lot of discussion points. I felt like once they got into it, like they spend a lot of time introducing you to the characters and who they are and how they intersect and really building them before they kind of get into the meat of why we're here. And once they got there, I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's a very bland show that when you start watching it, it's like you want to see what happens next.
I think they do a good job of making no one the villain, per se. Like, because you can understand.
No singular villain?
Yeah, not even just singular villain. I think at some point you can understand where each person is coming from, depending on who you are. Just like Naomi said, like I may have a different perspective on this person across the board. Like I said, even with the mother, at some point I was like, oh yeah, I get what she's saying, but then at points I'm like, oh well, actually I don't. Same thing with the son.
Has a purpose.
Some with the son, like even with the son, like some stuff I was like, oh, this motherfucker, all he want to do is play video games. But then we get to the point where he's relieved.
Oh yeah, he's the only good person in the show.
He's the only good person in the show, and if you notice, once his devices got swept up into the ocean, he was the only one who actually experienced the island. Yeah. He's sleeping on the beach. He sees humpback whales. His stuff gets washed in the ocean. He actually starts canoeing with people. Like he actually did what the intention of their vacation was, which was experience. He actually had experiences, which is why he's like, oh, well, y'all crazy. I don't want to go back. I'm staying here. So I thought it was interesting. Like, especially like he was so upset about the fact that he lost his phone. Like, send me another phone now, having a temper tantrum. Then by the end of it, he was like, I don't even want my phone. I'm good. I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah, and that could be looked at as an addiction for him. That kept him like oblivious to the world. You know, so there's something that could be said for that. And once that got removed, he was like,
he saw stuff.
He just like Paula. Well, shit, I've been like in numbing this whole myself. And now he saw the world for what it was. So that's interesting. You know, terrible parents to let him go though.
They didn't sit there and they didn't know.
I mean, but nobody hopped off the plane to go get this motherfucker. He's still canoeing. But Rod, I think there are a lot of villains in the show.
I think everybody's a villain.
Yeah, I do too,
except for Quinn.
Yeah, even Armand. I
thought Armand and Shane were both villains. Like, man, like to
it was like other. A battle of the.
Yeah, it was a battle of the villains. Both.
I think where y'all say villain, I'm giving them grace on just them being who they are or whatnot, and then like some people understanding where they're coming from. Because where you say about Sydney Sweeney's character, she very much seemed like a villain to me more than the friend did. From just like her attitude and her just privilege and all that. That seemed villainous, but that's a true perspective of her experience, right? Or what she can experience. And you thought the friend was a villain, but I didn't necessarily see her as a villain. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. I think if you want to look at them as villains, you can, but I think you can also look at them as just that, just they're just naturally who they are. Like they're not intentionally trying to be villains.
Yeah.
It's not an intentional
I don't think and I think that's why the show is good, because it depends on your perspective. Because who do you find more fault in? A person who understands what's going on and plays along, or a person who's just playing the game?
Right.
So again, it's just there's so many different perspectives that you could have on the different circumstances in these shows. I think it's really, really good. Right, Mike White is really good writer.
Because even the girl, the one that wrote the article, she thought she was doing a good thing, but then the wife was like, "Nah, that almost fucked up my career."
Yeah.
But in her mind, she wasn't being a villain. She thought she was just being a good journalist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But from the mother's perspective, no, you're not. You are a villain. So that's why I'm saying I thought they did a good job at showing people in their natural state, not realizing that they're causing harm.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I think you get Sydney, who wants what her friends have, even though she has everything already.
Yeah.
You have the husband, who we found out was a cheater. The wife, who ignores
everybody.
Yeah, and everything that goes on with society, and makes excuses for the people that are around her and their assets that they have. Paula, who ruined Kai's life because she felt like that he was being taken advantage of once she saw him dancing and stuff like that. So she thought she was being a good thing. You got Tanya, who used Greg and Melinda. You got Rachel, who was bad. Shane, we already know. Armand, like everybody was fucked in this whole show by these people that came on this island, this resort.
For you not liking the show, you sound really best. It's like, a lot.
He liked it. That's what I was sitting here thinking too, right? He liked it.
Yeah, right.
He didn't want to. He hated
kids
it.
Like that though. But last question. We already know one of the storylines that's continuing. Do y'all think any of these storylines are going to continue throughout the seasons at all? Are any of these going to come back? Like the.
Have you started watching 3
season?
yet?
I was gonna say
I started watching 3.
I haven't started 3.
So outside,
okay.
but I think she's still tied to that Greg thing too, though. But is any other storylines you think are connected or going to connect?
I don't think so.
So you think the family is just done, and the family?
Oh yeah. I think every season.
Yeah, I think anybody from season 1 outside of who we know came back. I don't think there's going to be any other surprises. It'd be cool if it did, but I think I kind of like them being independent of each other.
Yeah.
See, I don't think they're independent because I think they're tying it somehow. I think they're tying. They're sewing this together in an interesting way. So part of me thinks that some of these people are gonna come back by the end of this White Lotus
And I personally
thing.
hope that they don't.
How many
I
episodes?
think it'll be interesting.
How many seasons? Do they know how many seasons they're gonna do?
I don't
They
know.
haven't said yet, but they know the season. I think they know season 4.
4?
Yeah. Up to 4.
So it's interesting, especially after watching season 2. There is a theme that I think is developing. I don't know if it's going to be around the characters, but probably around the resorts. I think they brought Coolidge. That's her name?
In the
Tanya
second season, yeah.
McQuad. I think they brought her back because people loved her.
For what? The third season?
For the second season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people loved her. I was surprised she came
so
back.
I'm curious if that's why they brought her back, or if that's just a storyline they intended to continue, because the first season she did not impress me very much.
Me either, but
Tanya
everybody
McQuad.
loved her though.
I think her character made the
McQuad.
biggest impact.
Really?
Yeah, they were saying that was a thing online as people watching it live. Just how weird and crazy her character was. So I think that was part of the reason that she got written into season 2 and had much bigger role.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Okay,
She
yeah.
had a much
Because I'm
bigger
with Nate now that you said that. There is the story that they were telling fits her, but maybe they wrote that story because the online reception to her was good. But I'm with you. She was probably one of the most annoying ones in the show for me.
She was.
Yeah, I didn't like her on here at all.
It has been
like
renewed
anything.
for season 4 too, so there will be at least 4 seasons.
I feel like they're gonna try to tie some more stuff together.
I hope not.
I do as a filmmaker.
Because I liked the way. Well, we'll get there to season 2.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just curious if y'all thought that they were going to try to tie other stuff in.
I'm with Nay. I do like rotating different people out.
I do too. All right. This has been the Frames Per Second review of season 1 of White Lotus. We hope you guys enjoyed that. We know you've been waiting on it. Shout out to the Redditors that suggested this.
Yeah,
And
exactly because of them.
yep.
And Spike.
Yeah.
Shout out to you too.
And season 2 we will do next week, and then we'll get you guys with season 3 once it's finished. We out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.